Good evening, everyone. I'm Tamara Bennett from Adoornments, Decor, and tonight is the final night for painting the pumpkin trucks. So if you've been following along every night, you'll know that we have painted 4 of these by tonight. So we started this on Tuesday night, and every night the pumpkin trucks have gotten a little bit more difficult and a little bit like more detailed, I guess. Okay, Sarah has a question before we get started. She says, is there a certain side that you're supposed to paint on when you use the Revolution plywood? No, Sarah, you can paint on either side. Doesn't matter. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you guys for joining me. We are going to go ahead and do the drawing for who won the pumpkin truck last night. So let's pull it out. This is the one we painted last night. And I told you guys that if you guys sprinkled the love, we would give it away to one of the people that shared. So let me pull that video up real quick and we will select a winner. We'll just randomly pick somebody. Okay, come on. My phone is deciding not to let me scroll down that far. So this may be tricky. Let's just close out the app and restart it and see if that works. You love this one? Okay, so tonight's truck is going to be a different color. The first night we did one that was turquoise. The second night we did red. And then last night we did blue. Anybody want to guess what tonight's color is going to be? Somebody said, I want it. Oh, let's see. Melissa says, I took the chance and joined Painters Clubhouse. Just joined last night and I've learned so much since last night. Glad I joined. I'm so glad to hear that, Melissa. Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you, Bruce Leslie. Hello, Jen. You love my hair. Well, tonight it's just up in a bun. So last night I ended up having to put it up because it got so hot in here that my husband ended up bringing me a ponytail holder and we pulled it up. All right. We had 126 shares last night, so I'm just going to let them load for a second, and then we're going to randomly pick somebody. You ready? I'm just going to scroll here because we don't know if it's going to be the one near the top, one near the bottom, or one near the middle. Okay, somebody guessed burnt orange. You guys keep guessing what color you think I'm going to paint it. Okay, your name is Leslie. Sorry about that. All right, our winner is Joe C. I think I'm saying her name right. Joseay. Joe C. First name Joe, last name C. So if that is you, you are the winner of this pumpkin truck. I'm going to screenshot your profile picture so that I have that for later. If you're watching, please let us know. Congratulations. And email us at info@southern-adornmentsdecor.com and we'll make sure and get your address and mail it to you. Okay, someone said cream, green. We did a red one on the second night. Do you want to see the red one? The red one is right here. Here's the red one that we did on night 2. And then here is the one we did on night 1. So as you can see, they got a little bit harder. This one's pretty simple. Still beautiful, but it's pretty simple. This one, we took it up a notch. And then as you can see on that blue one, it had a lot of detail. Now tonight's is going to have even more detail and some new features that the other trucks did not have. So if you notice, this truck does not have any lines on it. No window drawn. The wheels are not drawn. None of that. We are going to freehand all of that. This is to show you that somebody who's been in the clubhouse a while would be more confident and be able to draw the lines and stuff like that. Somebody said, do you teach us how to send people templates? No, we don't do that, Danita. Let's see. Somebody guessed yellow, tan, teal. Cindy guessed green. Cindy, that is the color that I'm planning on painting it. Lisa got it right. Michelle got it right. Belinda, Nancy, Linda, lots of you guys got it right. Awesome. So yes, we're going to be painting it green tonight. Green is actually my favorite color, so that's why I saved it for last. I saw somebody guess orange. Now, the reason I'm not painting it orange is because, a mustard truck might be cute, Rebecca. That's a good idea. Is because with the orange pumpkins, I feel like it wouldn't have enough diversity of color. It would be just too much orange going on. So I wanted to have a color that complemented the orange. Dawn jumped in feet first and joined Painters Clubhouse for me. I love that. She said, I can't wait for my new self-care to begin. I'm a new painter here. Dawn, that is the best reason to join, for self-care and to like do something for yourself. Where is this template for the truck? So Danita, if you will say link, L-I-N-K, in the comments, it will send a message to your Facebook Messenger. It'll have the sign up link for Painters Clubhouse, and it will have the link to go get the blank for this or the template. Now, this one that I'm showing you here has no etching. So if you want the lines drawn on it to where you can paint it more like this with the lettering and everything on it, be sure and choose an etched blank. Let me see if I missed any more questions before we get started here. Oh, I've also got the link in there for my Amazon affiliate shops, because some of you guys had been asking for that in the previous nights, because that's where my favorite paint pens came from. And so I put that in there also. All right. So sometimes I draw the details with a pencil, and sometimes I draw them with a piece of chalk. And sometimes I use a General's charcoal white pencil. Let me see if can you guys see that? Yeah, well, sort of. General's charcoal white. And these are on Amazon also. So Danita says, if we decide, whoops, that's not the question. There it is. If we decide to do the Clubhouse, to do paint parties, how will we know how to send our customers templates? Danita, are you talking about doing virtual paint parties where your customer cuts their own template? Because if so, the customer would need to purchase the printable template from us and then have you teach it. Now, are you, okay, hang on. Let's clear something up real quick. Are you calling this a template? This is not a template. This is actually called a blank. That's our terminology. So this is called a blank. This is a template, you know, like a paper template. It's what you use to trace on your wood to cut your pieces. So if you're calling this a template, sending those to your customers, you know, you would just need to know how to cut it and how to ship it. And so we do have people in there that can answer questions about that sort of thing. So I hope I cleared that up for you. Okay. Rose said, I joined your Painters Clubhouse, but I noticed you had a different club for templates. If I join templates today, would I be able to get the new ones? Rose, yes, I believe so. Now, Rose, if you sign up for Template Club today, it doesn't start until September 1st. And so you would get September's designs. If you want to get August's designs, I believe if you email support, they can give you a link to go to like buy a previous month, if that's what you wish to do. Okay, any suggestions? Y'all are just full of questions. Any suggestions on how to trace lettering onto black paint? I'm not good at lettering. This right here, chalk. We'll show how to do that later in this tutorial. Okay, so if you guys don't mind, sprinkle the love so that you can be entered to win this truck that I'm painting tonight. And we will draw a winner for it tomorrow night when we do a Zoom paint party here live on my Facebook page. Jessica joined and she said she made her husband find the jigsaw so I can start using it. I'm scaring him a little bit. That's okay. You're going to make a believer out of him soon, Jessica. Kayla joined tonight. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to stop reading comments for just a second and start drawing. All right, I've got my little ruler out here, and the reason I have that out is so that I can kind of create somewhat of a straight line. Hang on, let's rotate my truck so that I can see if I'm going to eyeball it. Eyeball everything. So we're just going to eyeball about where the bottom of that bed meets the bottom of the pumpkin, and we're going to draw a line. This is my General's charcoal pencil. It's kind of like drawing almost a chalk line. So that's my bed. And then we'll bring the truck bed down like this, or the back end of the cab. We'll draw a window. There we go. We'll draw a little headlight and a bumper. So we're just adding our details on here. And I liked the other day how we added the little, what is this called? Step plate, running board. I think that's what it's called. I don't know truck terminology. You use a lighter carbon paper to trace on black. That's a great tip, Teresa. Thank you for that. And we're going to put a bumper here. Now that I know where my bumpers and my running boards come to, I can figure out where my fender goes. And so I'm going to just kind of lightly draw a fender coming up and over right there. And do the same thing over here. Actually, you know what? To do the one over here, I want them to be a little bit symmetrical. So I'm going to kind of put something right there so that I know that's about how high I want it to go up. Because it can be kind of hard if your hand, oh, see, that's not very curved. It can be kind of hard to make something symmetrical if you're hand drawing it. So we're just going to get close enough. How about that? That one actually looks like it's going up a little higher. Okay, and then I want to do some other things over here, but we're going to get to that later. So we've got our, we don't have our basic lines drawn yet. I need to draw the truck tire here. And that can be kind of tricky also. So I'm just going to kind of try to freehand it, maybe trace it out a little bit bigger. There we go. And then do a hubcap in the middle. And it's okay if your first sketch of it isn't perfect, because once you start painting, you won't notice all of these little white lines. We're going to paint over them. All right, so we've got our basic shapes of what we need on our truck. As you can see, I kind of messed up the little hubcap there, but it's okay. Okay, did somebody have a question about a template? I'm seeing lots of comments. By the way, I'm live on YouTube for the first time, I think, ever. And so I figured out how to stream this into Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So I'm feeling super techie right now. So if you're watching from YouTube, just know that we take our time doing these. I know YouTube is usually used to fast tutorials, but we take our time, we chat, we answer lots of questions and get to know each other. But if you enjoy this, I would highly appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button, because we are only like 80 subscribers away from 10,000 followers. And for those of you watching on Facebook, if you're not a YouTube subscriber, it's a great thing to do, because our videos that we do here on Facebook, we take them usually and we chop them down a little bit and take out a lot of the jibber jabber. And so if you need a quick, like, step-by-step tutorial, you'll get the condensed version over on YouTube. And a lot of times it's easier to find an old video of mine on YouTube than it is scrolling through Facebook. Okay. Some of you guys are just explaining what templates are. Thank you guys for taking care of those questions over in the comments for me. There isn't a share button. That's strange. Maybe try going out and coming back in, or maybe you're watching from inside of a group, and sometimes inside of a group, it won't let you share. So if you go to the Southern Adoornments Decor page, you can share from there. All right, let's start painting the base coat of our truck. I'm going to be using the color Hauser Medium Green. I'm using all Decor Americana paints tonight. I'm starting to run low on some of my favorite colors after this week, doing lots of painting. So I'm going to have to figure out how to find me some more paint, or we're going to come to a halt here on the page with some of our colors. By the way, I have this sitting here. Let me show you guys something. My kids were on the front page of our local paper. Look how cute. See, there's Charlie with her little backpack. And there's Brett standing behind her. They got their masks on, and the PE teacher is checking their temperature before they go into school. Is that not cute? So we're small town famous this week. Okay, I'm going to do like I did the other. No, never mind. I started to say I'm going to do like I did the other night and lighten this color, but I think instead of doing that, I'm just going to darken the color that I use on the fenders instead. Cheryl said, can I post your YouTube link, Tamara? Yes, thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl is my YouTube gal. She helps me with YouTube. She's the one who does all of the chopping down of the videos for me. Look how pretty this green is. Green is my favorite color. And this is the Hauser Medium Green. It's my favorite Deco Art green. They have 3 Hauser greens: Hauser Dark Green, Hauser Light Green, and Hauser Medium. And they work really well together. And so I'll be using the dark and the medium together on this truck, and we'll show you how in just a little bit. And I'm using a flat tip brush just to lay down all my colors. I like a flat tip brush because I can cover large areas, and I can turn it up and down like this instead of flat to do like a nice skinny line. So see, I can go right along the edge of my window with a skinnier line. And so I feel like it's super versatile when you use a flat tip brush. You can get in tight areas easier. And I don't have to feel like I'm switching between brushes to do all of that. I can just do it all with one brush. Dorinda had her 3rd paint party tonight. First time with this truck, and she had 15 ladies. Wow, Dorinda. That is awesome. I'm hoping you made a lot of money. That would be great, especially during COVID, to make a lot of money. Let's paint around our little fenders. And I'm not staying in my lines very good, but that's all right. We're just going to roll with it. So for those of you who have not made up your mind yet, if you're on the fence, it's now confession time. Tell me if you're on the fence. And if you're on the fence, tell me why. What's holding you up? Is it the money? Is it, does it feel like a big commitment? Are you afraid you don't have enough time? What's the dealio? Let us help you out. We will do our best to help you figure out if it's a right fit for you. Someone messaged me on Instagram earlier today, and she said, I really want to join. I've been watching you for a long time, but she said, I'm just afraid I don't have time. She said, I'm so busy and I just don't have time for painting. And I said, well, to be honest with you, even if you only sit down to paint once a month, you're still going to make progress. And after all, why would you join if you're not hoping to make progress? And so that's what it's all about. You're wanting to make progress to become a better painter, and or to learn to paint if you're not a painter at all. And so even if you're only having a chance to sit down and paint one time a month, let this be your chance to do something for you. Make time for it one time a month. Because I guarantee you, if you're a watcher of that TV show, This Is Us, in November, you're going to make time once a week to watch This Is Us, right? So what if you made your This Is Us time to sit down and paint? You could have me going on one screen, muted, and you could just watch me instead of listen to me. And then you could watch This Is Us on another screen and paint along with me. By the way, I saw an announcement. It is coming back in November. I'm so excited. It feels like we're getting back to real life all of a sudden when they start announcing our TV shows are coming back and movies are coming back to the theater. Okay, Sandy Cummings says, I'm on the fence, afraid I will not get my money's worth because I don't have time and my husband is suffering from lung cancer. Oh, Sandy, it sounds like you need painting therapy more than ever right now, but I know finding time can be very difficult. So with your husband having lung cancer, is he at home or is he at the hospital? If he's staying at home, is there time where you're like sitting around, almost like keeping him company, like keeping an eye on him and getting him things he needs? Could you set up like a little card table in the room where you visit with him and paint while you're taking care of him? I really think it would do you a world of good, because I know you've got to be so stressed right now. And if you could find something to take your mind off of it, it would really help. I say this because there are so many of our members who have used painting for that very same reason. If you did not see my interview yesterday with Mandy Stockley, she's a Painters Clubhouse member. She was talking about how she battles depression and anxiety, and painting has saved her from her depression and anxiety. She said it's really, really made a huge difference. I'm just putting a quick second coat on this, by the way. It didn't really need a full second coat, so I'm just kind of going through in the places where it's a little thin. I'm just giving it a little more. Cassie has been on the fence for over a year, and she finally joined. You've been watching me for a long time, Cassie. I know your name well. Thank you for sharing Buttercup Creations. I love that name. And thank you for subscribing to my channel. Look, oh, that's neat. Looky here. It's got a little red thing next to her face, so that tells me that she's watching from YouTube. That is so cool. This StreamYard platform is the coolest thing. It lets me go live on Facebook and YouTube and like up to 8 locations at one time. So I can pull all of you guys, no matter where you're at, into one place, and I can read your comments all from one place, and you guys can talk to me. It's really neat. Okay, so you're at home. Well, that helps, Sandy, because it sounds like you could probably set up a little area, and then when you find just 20 minutes or 30 minutes, you could go over there and paint part of it. Like you could just go over there and do this part and then walk away for a little while. And so anytime you would need like a little break or a breather, you could go over there and paint for a few minutes, and it would kind of take your mind off things, I think. Okay, Robin says, I'm on the fence, technically on the edge of the rabbit hole. I tend to fall down crafty rabbit holes. I love that. And I don't want to fall down another one and ditch it after several months. But I've been binging every One Store Hanger video. So, Robin, I was talking about this earlier today when I interviewed another Clubhouse member, Leanne LeBuc. We were talking about how I used to do all kinds of crafty things. I used to do scrapbooking, and then for a while I did card making, and I did jewelry making and sewing, and I tried to sell anything and everything that I was making and doing. I had like a little craft booth at the local peddler's mall kind of place. And it wasn't until I discovered door hanger painting that I really settled into something, because I was a hopper too. I would hop down rabbit holes of different kinds of crafts all the time. And it was very difficult for me to like settle into one thing. And I was super passionate. You're probably just like this, Robin. I would go to the store and I would buy everything needed to do that craft. And I would be like, this is it. This is going to be the thing. And I'm going to buy all the things to do the thing. And then I would get super passionate about it for about 6 months. And then I would fizzle out and still have all these supplies sitting there. And so I can't tell you whether or not door hanger painting is going to be the thing that sticks for you, but it was the thing that stuck for me. And I think that's because, why is it? I think it's because with door hanger painting, my creativity doesn't feel stifled or limited. There's a million different ways you could paint a door hanger, a million different designs you could paint. And I know what it was. It made me a lot of extra money, because it is very profitable, especially if you are cutting your own blanks. And then when I started doing the paint party aspect of it and teaching others and making money with that, I think that was the thing. Now that I'm talking it out loud, I'm realizing doing it with others was the thing that helped it stick. So everything else that I had ever done before, the jewelry making, the scrapbooking, and all the things, I had done alone. I had never done in a party or invited a group of friends over. I mean, we did like our little Pinterest parties. I've talked about that before. But anytime I was just crafting to make something to sell, I was doing it by myself. And so something about door hangers and doing paint parties felt like it fulfilled me in a way that the other things didn't, because it got me closer to other people and helped me serve other people. And so I think that's what really helped. Rita is on the fence. She loves painting and she's teaching your grands. Are you teaching them because they're homeschooled? Or you mean you're teaching them painting? Bye. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
My husband's best friend's going home. I say my husband's best friend. He's my best friend too. He's over here all the time. I cook for him every weekend. Lori says, my goodness, you're speaking my language. I thought I was the only one who tries everything. Nope. That's a very common occurrence in the crafting world. Yes, my shirt looks blue on the front camera, but it's actually purple. I don't know why, but my webcam turns all the purple colors blue. And so that's why my lipstick color looks muted, because my lipstick is actually very pink. Thank you, Liz Muller. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Buttercup Creation. She said, that's me. I do all kinds of crafts. I love it and I hate it. I want everything at the store to do all the things, but I never finish a lot of things because I get overwhelmed. So I don't know if you're missing the fulfillment of doing it with other people in a community aspect, or maybe some of the other things you do haven't been very profitable. Door hanger painting could be the thing that sticks, but it just depends on why the other things have not stuck for you. And so you need to figure that part out. Figure out what you're missing from the other things before you can decide, if painting is the thing that will fulfill you. It certainly was the thing that fulfilled me, as you guys can see. And it fulfills a lot of the ladies in my Painters Clubhouse. Now that I've painted that center hubcap, I'm realizing this one over here is not nearly as big. So I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger. And I'm going to have to make the tire on the other side a little bit bigger too, because it looks a little too small next to the hubcap. So that's the trouble sometimes with drawing little things like that yourself. Now this one looks too big. Oh well, we'll fix it with black paint. Teaching them for fun. Well, this could be something you could teach them. How do you know when your background is covered enough? What color did you use for the window? Sheila, this color is called Gray Sky. And I can just tell when it's covered enough if I can't see the background color through it. So like right now that it's completely dry, you can see that it's not covered very good. So I may have to go in, especially where that water droplet fell on it. See how like right here, it's just a little bit transparent. And so if I was doing something else on this background, like doing a pattern or something, then I might not need to do another coat. Ooh, I just thought of something really fun we could do. So we may not do another coat on this. I'm not going to tell you just yet, but we're going to do a pattern on this background, I think. I'm kind of nervous to do it because I've never done it before. So you guys know that when I do buffalo plaid, I do it with baby wipes and frog tape. What if we did a dark green buffalo plaid on top of, my word, open up. I don't know how that's going to turn out though. Might as well experiment on Facebook Live. It's open up. If it's a flop, it's a flop. Tiffany, you're so awesome. She said, you're the reason I started my business, and I always let people know who inspired me to start door hangers. Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate that. Buttercup Creations asked, in the Painters Clubhouse, whoops, do you teach us only the painting aspect or also the business end of it for parties? So we talk about paint parties a lot just because the conversation comes up, but we don't actively teach you how to do paint parties in the clubhouse. The clubhouse is fully intended to be all about painting. And so once in a while, I'll give you guys a business tip in there, but we try to make the focus 95% painting, because after you've been in the clubhouse for a while, we have stages, like we have a success path of stages. This might be kind of hard to see my painter tape. We have some stages of that's called a success path. There's 4 stages. And once you reach the 4th stage, you know that you're ready to, let's see, we'll start right here. You're ready to join our next membership, which is called Paint to Profit. And so in the Paint to Profit, we do focus on growing your door hanger business and selling more door hangers. Plaid, yes. Do leopard print. Ashton, I've got some leopard print in mind for one of these pumpkins, actually. Thank you, Jenny Hampton. She said, you're a blessing to me. I appreciate that so much. Okay. And then, so a little trick that somebody taught me, you pull off an extra piece of tape and you use it as your width. I can't say the word width. I'm not saying the D. Width. I think I'm getting tired because I'm getting sillier and sillier. Charlie got me up really early this morning, 5:40 to be exact. So I'm burning the candle at both ends. Charlie is my 5-year-old daughter, by the way. She just started kindergarten this year, and so she's having to get up earlier. And I think her little body quickly acclimated to getting up early. And it's been hard on Mama because she's getting up even earlier than she's supposed to be. She's supposed to get on the bus about 6:30, and so we were getting up at 6. But this morning she was like, nope, let's get up at 5:40. Ray Olson said, I joined Paint Party about a year ago, and I haven't been good about doing much more than watching Tamara and others paint. I've had a couple of paint parties as a fundraiser for Relay for Life, but I haven't done much more than that. But I think every cent of the $37 is worth it. Thank you so much for saying that. Okay, yeah, that's right. I was having to think about, should I put that there? Yes. Okay, so we're going to get these stripes going first. We'll do some up here. This is going to be interesting. It's a big experiment because I did not plan on doing this. But when I got talking, I was like, oh, that would be kind of cool. Let's try it. And since we're in stage 4 on this door hanger, we're painting it as if we're a clubhouse member in stage 4. We're going to be brave. We're going to go for it because that's what people in stage 4 do. We try things that make us uncomfortable. And if we're doing it live in front of 560 people, it's going to make us uncomfortable, especially if we're not sure how it'll turn out. Because I've never done green buffalo plaid on top of green before. You love the name Charlie. So Ashton, her name's actually Charlotte, but we call her Charlie. Somebody asked, where can I buy a large size graphite paper? On my Amazon affiliate shop. if you're on my Southern Adoornments Decor page watching this right now, if you'll say the word link, it'll send a message to your Facebook Messenger. If you're watching on YouTube or from inside a Facebook group or something, it won't do that. How wide is your frog tape? Amy, this is 1.41 inches. Do you get anything extra for signing up this year, or is it the same? So Jamie, we did have a bunch of bonuses if you had signed up at the very beginning of the week. But let me show you real quick. If you sign up by tonight, there's one bonus left because tomorrow is the last day to sign up. But if you sign up tonight, you get the final bonus, which is this Christmas house door hanger. I'm going to show you how to paint it, and I'm giving you a template for it. And then if you pay for the year in full, you also get these 3 exclusive templates that will not be released until next year. So that's the 2 bonuses that you get if you go ahead and sign up tonight and if you pay yearly. Okay, so what we're going to do is not panic because we're doing this live. We're going to get some of this Hauser dark green. I may actually, I'm thinking about this. I may actually mix a little bit of the background color in with it because I don't want it to be like really dark green. I wanted the main color of the truck to stay almost this color. So I'm going to mix these 2 colors of green together and try to come up with a similar middle shade. Just enough that it'll show up. Okay, that's looking good. I like that. I'm just using the bottom of my paintbrush to mix, by the way. Okay, here's where the magic happens. Where's the link to sign up? Buttercup Creations. It should be, if you're watching from YouTube, it should be in the video description. If you can't find it, just simply go to your browser and type in paintersclubhouse.com. My brain was short circuiting. I couldn't think of words. All right, so you're going to need a nice new baby wipe that's really moist. I was trying to think of a better word to say than that. That's good and wet. Where do you find the bonuses? Cherie, they should be where you log in at paintersclubhouse.com. Is there a way to get smaller templates so we can put them on wreaths? So that's a great question. We, up until now, have only ever offered our templates in 20-inch size, but we are currently coming up with a plan and working up an idea to like offer them all in 20 and 12-inch. And so we're trying to figure out the tech side of that yet. Like, because we know if any of you watching right now have a solution for this, please email us at info@southern-adoornmentsdecor.com. But you know how sewing people make sewing patterns and they have multiple sizes in one pattern? That's what we're wanting to do. But tech-wise, we have to figure out how. So if any of you know how to make sewing patterns with multiple sizes in one, please email us and help us figure out how to do that. All right, so get your wet baby wipe. Dip it in the green paint. It's darker than my background. And start smearing it across there while it's nice and wet. Oh, I know already this is going to look awesome. You know how like suddenly you're like, you realize that it was a great idea? We're going to go ahead and just go right on across our fenders because it really doesn't matter. We'll just redraw the fenders. It'll be easier than trying to paint around them with a baby wipe. If your baby wipe is dry, this is going to be it's going to be more difficult. So make sure your baby wipe's nice and wet. Okay, and then we've also got to get some up here on this part without getting it all over. Hold on, let me fold my baby wipe into a more precise size. I'll do it right through there without getting it all over the window and the pumpkin. Okay, there we go. Did I miss any areas? No, because this is a bumper. I'm talking to myself, sorry. Why do you use a baby wipe? Jackie, I'll show you in a moment. Number one, because it goes on nice and thin, but also because it creates a really cool texture. And I'll show you that on a different door hanger with the buffalo check in just a second. So in our fall door hanger challenge that we did a couple of weeks ago, we did this technique. And look at the buffalo plaid. See how it looks like it's kind of opaque in places? You can't get that without the baby wipe. See the texture? And you can also see that like the fabric of the baby wipe gave it a really cool texture. And so it almost looks like it's been printed on there, but all it is baby wipe, painter's tape, and paint. All right, let me make sure this is good and dry before we start sticking more painter's tape on it. Oh, Sarah from Framed is here, and she said, I want to do this buffalo plaid technique on my walls. You're going to have a lot of baby wipes, girlfriend. I'm just saying. Okay, so now we're going to tape our painter's tape. I'm taking the same pieces, and we're going to go the other direction. I'm going to start right here on the edge of my truck, lay that down. Let's see, we'll use a little piece in between for measurement, and then we'll put pieces across here. So I'm just reusing the original pieces. They're still good and sticky enough for this use. And we're just gonna do our stripes going the other way. Oh, I forgot to move my measurement piece. How do you keep the baby wipes from leaving fuzzies? I think it kind of depends on the type of baby wipes you use. I have the cheap, Great Value brand ones. So I don't know, but mine work just fine. It was stuck together. You bought the fall one and didn't get, oh, it disappeared. I'm sorry, I missed your comment. By the way, if you guys have any lingering questions about Painters Clubhouse, I'm going to hang around on here for as long as you guys need after I'm done painting this truck so that I can answer all your questions, okay? So I know I'm kind of distracted right now, painting and talking at the same time. So if I miss a question and you're still on at the end, I will be happy to answer all the questions. We also have a frequently asked questions section at the bottom of the sign up page. So perhaps your answer to your question might be there. Sometimes people ask questions like, can I cancel at any time? Yes, you're not locked in for any particular amount of time. You get to cancel whenever you want. Another common question that people ask is, do I have to have Facebook in order to do this? Somebody asked me that on YouTube earlier today, and my answer was no. The only reason you would need to have Facebook is if you want to be a part of the community aspect, because the Painters Clubhouse is actually made up of two parts. We've got the Facebook group, where the community is, and that's where I will do the live videos. But after they're live, we will upload them onto a membership site, which is the second part, and they will live there for safekeeping. So if you don't have Facebook, don't want to be on Facebook, don't care about the community part of it, you can join and have access to the videos and the templates and everything on the membership site and never have to have Facebook. All right, getting a fresh baby wipe this time. And we're going to just dip. And this time I'm going to put it down just a little bit thicker maybe. Don't forget that little lip on the back of the truck. Yeah, so the more you wipe it with the baby wipe, the thinner the paint will be. So if you want the paint to be thinner, then just keep wiping it, and you'll pick up more and more layers of it with the alcohol. Because I can't talk. The alcohol in the acrylic paint the alcohol in the baby wipe actually breaks down the acrylic paint a little bit. And so if you ever get paint on your clothing, you can actually use rubbing alcohol to remove paint from your clothing. So I think that's part of the reason this technique works so well. And by going back over it both directions, it's anywhere where they crisscross each other, it's automatically going to be darker. Put a little bit up here in that area. It's kind of tricky when you've already painted some spots like I have, because you got to be careful about where you're putting the paint. And so I'm trying to be careful about not getting it all over everything. And I'm just double checking that I got it all. I think I did. Okay. I'll toss this in my little trash can down here. And then we're going to peel these up. And you guys are going to say, ooh, ah. Oh, hang on. I just saw a spot that I missed. I spoke too soon. There's a little spot right here. So before I peeled up that painter's tape, I needed to get it. This is going to be cute. I'm so glad I took the risk, because you know how I was like before I did this. For those of you who are watching, you've heard me. I was kind of like, well, I don't know, this might not turn out good, because it was kind of a last minute idea, but it actually looks really cute. Let me hold it up in the other light so you can kind of see. Look how cute. Buffalo plaid, green on green. Very fallish feeling. And I know right now it looks a little messy. That's because we got to get all the other details. We got to get the fender wheels and stuff on here. Now, I think I'm going to do the fender wheels in the dark Hauser green. So we mixed the two Hauser greens, the medium and the dark, together to make the buffalo plaid color. So I'm going to attempt to get just the dark Hauser green and do our little fender wheels and see if that's dark enough. If it's not, we'll add a little bit of black to this paint. But I wanted them to be a little bit darker than the truck is anyways. I think that's going to be plenty dark. That looks really good. And so somebody asked earlier about knowing if I had the background covered well enough. Since we did the buffalo plaid, it doesn't matter anymore, because the buffalo plaid covered it really well. I'm losing track of my comments, so I hope I haven't missed a very important question that anyone has asked. Slim pickings on the paint. Yes, it is. Okay, I think you guys are just having conversation amongst yourselves, and I'm totally cool with that. So y'all just keep on going. And if you're a Painters Clubhouse member that's watching right now, if you see a question pop up that you know the answer to, I would love it if you guys could help me out, because I'm trying to paint, answer questions, and talk all at the same time, and it can be kind of difficult. So y'all are always so sweet to help me out with questions. So if any of you guys are on the fence and there's something that like you think you would rather hear from the lips of a Clubhouse member rather than from me, just ask them and they'll tell you. And, you know, I'm not scared to tell them to just tell you what they think, because I honestly believe that I believe in the Clubhouse so much that I think they will all have positive things to say. So feel free to ask any of the hashtag PC sisters a question if you need to. So somebody was asking me earlier today, what do you exactly get with the Painters Clubhouse? So the actual deliverables is what we call them, the things that you actually get, and you get new ones every single Monday. So every month you get 2 door hanger templates, which are the printable templates, so you can cut your own wood, and you get a tutorial, a video tutorial to go along with each one. Now I always teach one of those, and then we bring a guest in to teach the other one. And then we have other bonus technique tutorial type videos in there as well. Green is your favorite color, Tiffany? Mine too. Candy says she loves the green buffalo plaid. She thinks she found a new favorite and you've been wanting. So every time I see buffalo plaid, I'm like, what color buffalo plaid should I try next? And I'm so glad that at the last second I came up with this idea, because I think it's going to be so cute. All right. I think tonight, instead of doing this gray color on my bumpers and my running board, I'm going to use like a dark gray, like a charcoal gray almost. Let's see, this might work. This is called Neutral Gray by Decor. Trying to find a smaller flat tip brush. You really love the green too. I appreciate that. Michaela said, I'm not a member, but I can tell you a lot. I've been here a while. You guys are so knowledgeable because you watch so many of my videos. You just soak it all up, don't you? Y'all are awesome. So we're just going to paint our little bumper this neutral gray color. I kind of think maybe it wasn't shook very well, so this might take more than one coat to get this covered, because it looks kind of opaque. Or not opaque. I always get the word opaque mixed up. Opaque means it's not see-through. It's transparent. That's what I meant to say. I always think of opaque as being transparent because, you know, you have to lower, like fix your opacity when you're doing a design. And it gets me confused. But then again, it doesn't take much to make me confused. All right. We're going to do this different here in a little bit too. Let's go ahead and paint our wheels. We're just going to do them ebony black. Do you wet your brush before you put it in the paint? Almost never, Yvonne. I do if I'm doing shading, but only when I'm doing shading. Whoops. So we're just going to paint our wheels this black color. This is going to be so cute when we get done with it. I'm so excited about this one. I hate that now I've offered to give it away. I might want to put the Bennetts on it and keep it. Guess I'll just have to paint myself another one. Don't forget to sprinkle the love if you want to be entered for the drawing on this one. And if you're just now tuning in, say the word link. It'll send the sign up link for Painters Clubhouse to your Facebook Messenger if you're watching from my Southern Adoornments page. So tomorrow is the absolute last day to sign up for Painters Clubhouse. And we only open 2 times a year, in the spring and in the fall. So it's also your last chance to join for 2020. And as I told you guys last night, we are actually going to be going up on the price when we reopen it in the spring. So I want to give you a fair warning. If you're sitting on the fence and you think you may still be thinking about it in the spring, you're going to be kicking yourself in the spring if you did not join now. Because if you join now at $37, you lock in your price. And you get to keep that price for as long as you're a member. So you'll want to lock in the $37 a month or $370 for the entire year. And of course, if you pay for the year, you get 2 months for free with that price. And you get those exclusive templates that I showed you a moment ago. There we go. That looks nice. I was trying to decide. Okay, hang on. I got to look at it from a different perspective. The front wheel is a lot smaller than the back wheel. Let's see if we can fix that. We had to fudge it a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. I don't know why, but it won't stay toward the bottom of the comments. I keep having to click it to refresh it and bring it to the bottom. Can we swap to yearly later? Yes, Amanda, you can. Oh, I forgot to mention one of the other things that that I get asked a lot about Painters Clubhouse is, are we able to sell what you teach us to paint? The answer is yes. And are we able to teach those designs at paint parties? Yes, again. So every design we teach you, you have creative license to go out and sell what you paint with it and to teach at paint parties. And so if you're doing that, you're making enough money to pay for your Painters Clubhouse. I mean, really, for $370 for the entire year, you could do one paint party and make that money back next weekend. Like super fast. I used to make $370 in a day in one single party that took me 2 or 3 hours when I was doing parties all the time. I would charge $35 a person with a minimum of 10 people. Boom, right there I made $350. And I almost always had more than 10 people. Paint parties are easy money. Even if you aren't like that experienced at painting, you can do paint parties. I prefer MDF, but sometimes I have to get Revolution ply if I'm cutting it myself because I can't find MDF in the stores. But all of my door hangers are laser cut and they're MDF because that's what my laser cutter guy uses. Do you need a computer or will a phone work? You can use just a phone. So if you're a Clubhouse member and you're watching right now, please let Rebecca know if you're a person who does this completely from a phone. How do I find the template I purchased from you recently? If you're looking for a template that you've purchased, log in to your account at shopdoorhangers.com and go to the orders section. So somebody was asking, has anybody ever shrunk a template on a printer to go from 12 inches to 20 inches to 12 inches? So Janelle, instead of changing the percentage, we have a video in the Clubhouse you can watch for how to change your template size. And it shows how to upload the JPEG into a website called blockposters.com. And you can change the printer setting or the print settings on there so that the PDF is smaller. Yes, I'm going to do the running board Chantilla, but I think I want to make it look like wood. So we're going to do that in a minute. Okay, Deetra says I do 90% of all of it from her phone. Good to know. And Sheila uses a phone. Good to know. There's also an app called Kajabi, and that's where our membership site is hosted. So once you join, you can go in and download the Kajabi app, Kajabi, and you can sign into your Painters Clubhouse membership right there. And so you would have Clubhouse right there on an app. Donna, I will do my best to go through the comments after it's over with and see if I can address your question if I can find it. I usually do that after it's over anyway. All right, so now that it's drying, I can see that this color here did not cover very well. So I'm just going to give it a second coat real quick of the Hauser dark green. Shouldn't take but just a second. It didn't have any color hardly behind it. It was just wood grain color behind it. So that green just kind of needs a little touch up. So tomorrow night, I'm going to be live here on my page since it will be the last night for the opening of Painters Clubhouse. And I'm going to be interviewing, I started to say 4. It'll be 3 of my OGs from the Painters Clubhouse. That's what they call themselves because they've been in the clubhouse since the beginning. And so I'll be interviewing 3 of them, or I won't say interviewing. We're calling it a Zoom paint party, so it's really not an interview. But the 4 of us will be up on the screen at the same time, taking questions and painting together. So I hope that you put that on your calendar. I'm not sure what time it is. If one of you guys are watching that's supposed to be live with me tomorrow night, actually, I probably got it on my phone here. Hold up. I just need to reference my Google Calendar because that's where I keep everything on here. 8 p.m. So at 8 p.m. tomorrow night, I'll be live here in the group, or not here in the group, here on my page with the group of OG girls, and we'll be painting together and chatting and answering all of your final questions. So the templates that your guy uses to laser cut, do we have access to those instead of a paper template? So Jill, when you purchase a template from me, you get a zip file, and the zip file has it has the laser cut files in it as well as the printable files. And so depending on what you need, if you have your own laser guy, you could just give him that zip file and he could pull out the files that he needs for his machine because it has DXF, EPS, and SVG in it, and he could cut you whichever one you need. Those are included with all of our templates. Just makes it super easy because a lot of you guys, once you've been doing this for a while, end up buying a laser cutting machine. Now we're adding color. Hello, Pam Savage. She from Young at Heart Creations. Let me put her up here on the screen. She is actually our Painters Clubhouse rock star for the month of August. Every month we have a different rock star in the clubhouse, and it's just the person who shows up for our community that month the most, and it's determined by the Facebook algorithm. We can go in and look at the stats for the group and see who is at the top of the leaderboard. And Miss Pam Savage was our clubhouse rock star for the month of August. So y'all give her a round of applause, if you will. What do you think about the Glowforge? So I think the Glowforge is pretty cool, but the thing that's not cool about it is that it can only cut up to so big. And I can't really tell you what size, but I do know that some of our girls who are probably on here know more about it than I do because they've bought one in the past. They said that they have to do the pass-through option when they're trying to cut a larger shape, and they can really only go as high as, like, I think 19 inches. And the problem is that it didn't feel like they had their Glowforge for 6 months or less before they felt like they were ready to already step up to a larger, bigger, more serious laser machine. And so if you think about it, if you're going to outgrow something, if you're going to outgrow a machine like that in 6 months, you would be much better off if you would just go ahead and bite the bullet and buy the bigger machine to start with. Because then after 6 months, you're probably still paying on that smaller machine, or maybe you've got it paid off if you've outgrown it. I know a lot of people end up doing that, but then you're going to have to deal with trying to sell that one or figure out if you're going to keep it and then figure out how to get a bigger one. And so a lot of my ladies end up outgrowing the Glowforge very quickly. Sharon says, if you're a member, can we get the actual wood design instead of just a template? Because you don't have anybody to cut for you. Yes, Sharon. So all of our designs are available at shopdoorhangers.com. And you can go in there and use a special 20% off discount code that Painters Clubhouse members get to purchase as many blanks and templates as you want. It doesn't have a limit on how many times you can use it. Carrie has her first event this weekend using apple barrel paints. Awesome, Carrie. I'm excited to hear that you're getting back to it. Carrie lives up there in New York State. Melissa has a rabbit laser. Good to know. Shirley bought a Glowforge, and we're already ready for a bigger one. Shirley, how long have you had that Glowforge? Was I right? Was it about 6 months, or was yours a different timeline? I'm really curious. Okay. I need some brown to do my little stems on my pumpkins. Actually, let's use this brown. It's more of like a reddish brown. It's called Burnt Sienna. We'll try that one. Whoa, I almost dripped that on the door hanger. There we go. It looks orange in the light, but I promise it's brown. I don't know what's going on with the lighting. Oh, my apple barrel design. I thought you meant apple barrel paints. You got this. It's okay, Carrie. It's going to turn out great. You're interested in what bigger options? Yeah, there's a bunch of different brands you could buy from. 5 months. Did you guys see that? Shirley had her Glowforge for 5 months, and she already is ready to upgrade and buy something bigger. Glowforges are not made for door hanger painters, in my opinion. Like, they can't handle us. We need bigger, more robust machines. Okay. Let's just get the background color that we used for the truck and paint our little leaves that color. Let's keep it simple. No need to add another color of green. There we go. And then we're going to do a little bit of shading on our pumpkins real quick. And then we're going to do some like leopard print or something fun like that. So I'm going to do like I did last night. Start in the middle, kind of create like a little circle oval kind of shape with my base coat orange. Then I'm going to pick up some of that burnt sienna and bring it down the outer edge of that circle shape, because that's going to create a little bit of shading. And I accidentally got the burnt sienna on the wrong side of my brush, so now it's in the middle. Let's just finger paint, get that off there. So I'm just using the burnt sienna to kind of create a little bit of a shadow on the outside part. I'm going to go ahead and do that on the outside since I've already got it on my brush here too. And then we'll do a lighter color in the middle. Shading is one of those things that right now, if you're a beginner, this can look super intimidating. So if this is kind of freaking you out a little bit, just ignore it. You don't have to do the shading part right now. You can learn that later. Your door hangers are going to be super cute, even if you never learn shading. But once you've been at this for a little while, you're going to want to try it, because it really does add a cool like dimension to your door hangers. I'm going to move it over a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to pick up just a little bit of the antique white, and we're going to put this in the middle. I'll show you guys this little pumpkin up close in a minute. Super, super cute. And then I need a little bit more. Trying to pick up that antique white and use it as a highlight to make the middle part of the pumpkins lighter. And if you ever get too much, because that can happen when you're shading, just go pick up your original base coat color and just start blending it out. And just try not to touch the areas where you did your outline. All right, so there's my pumpkin. He's got a little bit of a mess up spot right there I'm going to have to fix, but you can see he looks quite dimensional now. I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that burnt sienna and go back in and fix that little spot. There we go. Good as new. So now let's do the same thing to this one, and then we're going to add leopard print to this one after we do our shading. Does the paint dry that fast? You look like the paint never gets on your arm. Julie or June, I do have paint on my arm actually. I got it on there when I was doing the hubcap, so it just depends. I get to talking and the paint has more time to dry. But if I was sitting here painting and not talking to you guys, I would be drying with my hair dryer in between coats of things. Thank you, Pam. She said, your shading has gotten so pretty. You're so good for my confidence. I love how you guys are just having this whole conversation about laser cutting machines over in the sidebar. I'm looking to see if I missed any important questions that were directed at me. Because as you guys know, I don't actually own my own laser cutting machine right now. I outsource all of my cutting. But we are going to be purchasing a laser machine soon because we have plans very soon to build our own shop on our property and start cutting our own blanks. We will still use the guy that outsources some of ours for some of our work, and then we will cut some of our own as well. Okay, I need to pick a different color for my shading. I should have done that first of all. Let's see. Here we go. This is called Pebble. It's a really soft brown. I think it pairs well with the antique white. Went heavy on that shading, didn't I? It's okay. We're just going to smooth it out and just keep blending. Just keep blending, blending, blending. Pretending like 500 people aren't watching. Y'all know how nerve-wracking it can be to paint shading that's something you're not super confident at while 500 people watch with bated breath. Let's do another band right through there of like pumpkin goodness. I feel like I should be answering more questions. Do y'all have any more questions about Painters Clubhouse? Does MDF make the paint easier and smoother? I think it makes the paint go on much smoother. And it does suck up the paint pretty quick. So that could be part of the reason why I'm able to not get it all over my arm is it dries so fast. Like I'm having to like dip my brush in a little bit of water because the MDF is still sucking the paint up so quickly. Do some around that edge there. And I'm just getting a teeny tiny bit of paint on my brush when I'm doing this. Teeny tiny. Let's go around that edge. Let's do some down here along the bottom to make it look like it's shadowy back underneath that pumpkin right there. Do you use a shading medium? I do, Sheila, if I'm doing large areas. But sometimes I get frustrated with the shading medium because it keeps the paint too wet for too long for me. Like at some point I like it when the paint starts to get drier because it gets easier to blend for me. But that's just my personal feelings about it. Okay. We're going to stop there and get a little bit of white now and do a little bit of a highlight in the middle of the pumpkin so that it looks dimensional there also. I'm also blending with a little bit of the original color so that it doesn't look weird. Always blend with your original background color. It's looking really good, actually. If I do say so myself, I can brag on myself a little bit. Get a little bit of that white. Just blend, blend, blend. Rebecca just joined the Clubhouse. Welcome, Rebecca. Can't locate the template. You got to log in over at paintersclubhouse.com. Even if you're just a challenge participant, you should still be able to like log in. Where Painters Clubhouse people log in, you just won't have access to all of Clubhouse. You'll only have access to your fall challenge videos and templates and stuff. So tomorrow's the last day. How many of you guys are planning on waiting until the last day? I know some of you guys are going to start emailing us on Sunday and Monday, and you're going to be panicking because you waited too long to make a decision about it. Ooh, that actually looks really good on camera, doesn't it? Oh, sorry, the lighting kind of screwed up. If it won't let you log in, email support@paintersclubhouse.com. Yes, Mackenzie, let's show you a close-up of the pumpkin. Let me get the lighting right so that it actually shows up for you guys. Okay, that lighting is doing something weird. I thought maybe if I got still for a second, it would like autofocus. Let's take it away now. It's still not doing it right. Well, hopefully it almost looks better down here than it does when I show you a close-up. What app do you use on your iPad to design your door hangers, Mary? I use the Procreate app. Jennifer says, my mom and I are painting the truck together tomorrow. We get to pick which one to copy. Great idea, Jennifer. So if you guys are beginners, you might want to copy the one that I did on the first night, Tuesday night. And if you're more advanced, this may be the one you want to try, but this one is definitely going to be harder. We're still not even done with this. This may take a little while. We've been going for an hour already, and we're not even done. We're going to do some leopard print next on this pumpkin. So I'm going to get a little round tip brush, and I'm going to get some gold paint because we're going to use gold. And we're going to just start with our gold. Whoop, I don't need that here right now. And we're just going to make some little cute little blobs. Let's make this kind of chunky leopard print, like not little bitty leopard print, chunky. And so where the little shading starts and stops, like right there, I'm going to kind of make the leopard print stay within that boundary so that it looks like it's coming out from behind those little bumps and ridges. This is going to be so cute. I cannot wait to see how it turns out. I geek out sometimes when I get to like paint something new and like be totally creative and, you know, do my own thing. And it's kind of fun to just let loose and like make it as cool as I want to make it. So I hope you guys feel that way too sometimes when you're painting or creating. I remember when I used to do custom door hangers, one of my favorite things was when a customer would say, oh, I don't care. Just do it however you want. You know, I love everything you paint. So you just use your own creative license and you do whatever you want. Like all I want it to say is, you know, the Bennett's, and I want it to have these colors, or I want it to like have, you know, a pumpkin on it or something. And so sometimes they're super specific and sometimes they're not. And so I love it when they're not, because that usually makes it to where I can use more creativity. So let me dry this real quick so I can do a second layer on my gold. You could have signed up for the Fall Door Hanger Challenge under a different email, maybe. I don't know. Just go ahead and email support@paintersclubhouse.com and see if they can help you. Are you sure that you signed up for the challenge? I don't know. What color gold are you using? This is called Decor Dazzling Metallics Splendid Gold. Decor actually sent me some new matte metallic paints that I'm excited to try. I haven't tried them yet. I could have tried them tonight, I guess, but we'll do them on a future door hanger when we can do a larger area and showcase like how they work, because they're pretty cool. They've got a new line of fall colors in the matte metallics. This is showing up a lot better now that I'm doing a second coat on the dots, because gold has a tendency to be a little bit transparent. Almost said opaque again. Okay, we're going to dry that, or rinse that brush, and then we're going to use dark chocolate colored paint. I'm running out of spaces in my egg carton, folks. All the little holes are getting filled. Try searching your email inbox for my business name or fall challenge, either one, and see if it comes up. Oh goodness, dropped my paintbrush in the floor. Watch this, I'm gonna pick it up with my toes. Almost gave myself a Charlie horse in the process. Okay, Hannah, it looks like she's helping you out in the comments. Hannah is my trusty assistant. She's been with me for 3 years this winter, and she can do all the things. She can help you with all the things. Okay, we're gonna get our dark chocolate color, and we're just gonna go and make like a wiggly line around each of our leopard print. You don't really want to go like all the way around, but like maybe 3/4 or 7/8 of the way around each little dot to create a leopard print look. And this is just one of many techniques that we can teach you inside the Painters Clubhouse. There are so many things we can teach you. We have tutorials for like tie-dye, for hand lettering, for how to paint paisleys, how to make a painted doormat. What else do we have? How to paint a clipboard. We've got all kinds of cool stuff, and you get instant access to it when you join Painters Clubhouse. So if you wanted to start binge watching it tomorrow and just spend all day tomorrow binge watching and painting, go sign up right now and you can get started tomorrow. I think I want to make this one come a little further around. Okay, there's my leopard print. Let me show you a little closer. Maybe if I hold it like this. There we go. Look. So pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Very cute. I would have to buy the wood already cut from you. How long would it take to get it for the class? So Rebecca, our turnaround time right now is 7 to 10 days because we outsource and we cut to order. We don't have these just sitting around waiting to ship. So when you order, then we have to send it to the laser guy. He cuts it and then we ship it. So it's about 7 to 10 days. But hopefully once we open up our own shop and start cutting our own blanks, that will cut down on the turnaround time. Allison, yes, you can only do 1 month. Are you looking at it like you want to do it as a trial period? If so, I want you to look at it like you're going to come in and you're going to see like how much you can learn in 1 month. Because don't come in with the attitude of, well, I'm only doing this for a month and then I'm going to leave. Because that's going to set you up for failure. If you want to be successful and actually like learn something from the clubhouse, you need to come in with the attitude of, I want to make progress. And so the progress attitude is the one you need to be able to do better or to like learn things. Yes, you can cancel at any time. Amber signed up earlier this week. She's been obsessed watching the videos since. Thank you, Amber. So let's do like a little steering wheel coming out from the front of the truck window here. I'm just drawing this on with my General's charcoal pencil. Just going to draw a little steering wheel there. And then we're going to paint it in with our round tip paintbrush that we just used on our leopard print. I'm just going to get some black paint here. And then we might add something else in the window in a moment. But hang on, this paint's getting a little dry. Let's add a little water to it. There we go. When will the clubhouse be open again? It will not be opening again until spring 2021. We only open 2 times a year. Now, the reason for that is because between the times of opening, we take a lot of time to figure out like how best to serve you guys. And so we put all of our efforts into serving you. and giving you what you need and helping you make progress. If we're constantly trying to sell this and trying to get new people in every single month, we couldn't serve you to the highest regard because we would constantly be helping all of the new people on board. Pam said, I'm going to have to hire a housekeeper so I can watch you all the time. Just, what do you call it? Screencast me to the big screen TV in your house, whichever one is, and just keep working while I'm on your big screen in your living room. That's a horrible thought. My big old head on your screen. What kind of pencil is that? It's the General's Charcoal White pencil. General's Charcoal White. I like it because you don't see, oh, thank you, Doreen. She said, don't forget the headlight and the grill. Yes, we'll do that in a moment. I thought about adding a cute little puppy dog in the window. So I'm going to pull up the picture of the little dog that I did that was the Halloween puppy, because I'm like a visual person. If I'm going to draw something, I have to have something to look at. So I'm going to pull up the picture of that cute little dog that we released the design for last week. Here he is right here. I'm going to pull him up. Can you guys see that? And I'm going to try to draw his little face in the window, like he's looking out at us. His ears may not be as proportional as they are. Whoops, I got my hand in the wet paint for whoever was asking about that earlier. My pen's making a squeaky noise. Maybe he's got some cute little paws up here on the windowsill. I think I made the dog a little too big. It's okay. We're just going to roll with it. Roll with it. All right, we're going to do the dog in this pebble color, but I'm going to mix it with a little bit of the antique white because it was a little bit... Actually, I don't know if that'll show up on... Yeah, it will. Okay, it will. I was afraid it wouldn't show up on the gray. Yes, it needs a puppy. Jenny says, you airplay me to a 55-inch TV. That's kind of a scary thought, thinking of my big old head being on a 55-inch television. As long as it doesn't bother your husband or anybody else, I guess it ain't hurting nobody having my big old head on your television screen. I'm not very good at hand drawing it like this on the spot, so he may look a little lumpy. Okay, and then I'm going to use this. Let's see, I need a little bit of white to mix with it, make it a little lighter. I'm going to use the antique white in the middle of his face for some contrast. No pressure, Tamara. You're just painting somebody's pet. I told myself years ago I would never paint people's pets again. I had a couple of customers that were, or actually I had one customer in particular that was very difficult. And after that, I was like, never again. It's too hard to please people with painting their pets. And sometimes it's like you don't know whether to make the dog realistic or cartoonish. And so I went too realistic and she didn't like it. She said he wasn't cute enough. So then I went more cartoonish and she's like, yeah, I still don't really care for it. And I'm like, well, you know, I can't please everybody. Do you lose your membership if you skip a month? Yes, I believe so. Your membership would go inactive. Put a second coat on his little face because it's looking a little bit like it didn't cover good. Let's do his little paws a lighter color too, so that they stand out a little bit. Like he's looking out the window there. He's kind of looking like a little person up in the window. Okay. And now I'm going to use, well, let's let that dry for a second, and then we'll come back to it and give him a face. While we're waiting on that, let's do the running board down here that I wanted to do earlier. That's not the right color. And I'm going to use this color Honey Brown. It's a lighter brown. It looks a little bit more like a stained oak color, I guess. Where's the brush I want? I keep using the same brushes over and over again. What site do you go to the Clubhouse? Paintersclubhouse.com. Do they automatically withdraw your account every month? Yes, on the same day every month. So if you sign up today, it'll be on the 28th of every month. This is the honey brown color. We're going to treat this like this is like a little wood side step on this old-fashioned truck. I may even take a little bit of this burnt sienna and kind of scrape through it, kind of create a little bit of a shading-like look. Well, I said I was going to. I can't seem to pick any of it up because my burnt sienna is drying. I want it to look a little bit like wood grain. Get a little bit of my dark chocolate. We'll just mix 3 colors of brown together to make it look like wood grain. That looks pretty good. And then the last thing, or not the last thing, but I also wanted to do some wooden slats back here, like they're holding the pumpkins in. So I'm going to take my honey brown and I'm going to start by doing the posts, right? So we're going to do the little post. Actually, that's not dark enough now that I'm seeing it on top of that pumpkin. So I'm going to mix a little bit of my dark brown in with my honey brown to create a different shade of brown. There we go. And we're just going to do some little posts, do them all the same height right across the back here. Put a second coat on them. Is there a brand of brushes you prefer? Amber, I sell all of my own brushes that I use. And so if you need brushes, you can get them at shopdoorhangers.com. Now just do a quick little cross thing. Actually, I'm going to bring it all the way up to the back of the cab of the truck so that it looks like it's connected. And then do a second one. And this one actually goes along where the bed meets the pumpkins. All the way up to the back window. Ta-da! Now we got a little bed rail in the back. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of the, I think I want to take a little bit of the, hang on, I got to rotate it to get this right. The buttermilk color, the light, the off-white. And I think I'm going to, actually I need a round tip brush for this. I just realized that's not going to work too well. So I'm going to get a round tip brush and just kind of shade in while that paint is still wet, a little bit of this buttermilk to create more texture so that it looks a little bit more like wood. Maybe get a little bit of the dark chocolate and do the same thing on the bottom side of each little slat. Go back and get the honey brown color and just kind of blend. Just keep adding your browns and kind of going over them back and forth until you get it like you like it. What do y'all think so far? You liking it? He loved this so much. Thank you, Tina. I don't think I'm going to, well, I do need to give this a little bit more thickness because you can see the leopard print through it. So let me just coat that a little bit better. I don't want to be able to see the leopard print through the wood. I want it to look like it's in front of it. There we go. I think I got it that time. All right, y'all want to see the bed of the truck closer? Look how cute. I wish you could see the shading on the pumpkin a little better. Maybe I need to hold my hand up here. There we go. There we go. Now you can see all the things. Super cute. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Pam. She said, I've been painting for over 30 years and I have still learned so much more from Painters Clubhouse. It's been so encouraging and has refreshed my life for painting and teaching, and I'm 62. Thank you for that, Pam. I appreciate that. So whether you've never painted before or you're like Pam and you've been painting for 30 years, we have something for everyone. And so once you get in, like I said, you get instant access to over 100 tutorials that you can go in and watch and just get started. And like I said, every month we add new things. And so it's a great place to learn how to paint because we've got something for everybody. Okay, I had to look at my picture just like, oh, I just realized I messed his little face up a bit. So before I get my paint pens out, I need to fix that. Where was the color I was using? I think I was mixing these two colors together. I need to make this part a little skinnier or his eyes are going to look like they're too far apart. We don't want that. We don't want him looking funny. Okay. Let me dry it. I love that, Shannon. She said this little truck reminds me of her grandpa. Did your grandpa have a little dog that would ride around with him? I'm having a real hard time getting those eyes to look right. I should have known better than to try to freehand a dog. Put his little nose on there. We're going to make his eyes a little bigger. That way they're a little closer together. And then we're going to use this is the skinniest paint pen from those on Amazon. And I love to use these for details. Because even though he looks pretty goofy right now, I think I can probably save it with the paint pens by adding details and make him look cuter. So you can add like fuzzy, like little lines like this that make it look like he's furry. Maybe he's got a little bit of furriness right there. And then I'm going to take my round tip brush. I'm going to get a skinnier round tip brush, a real tiny one. Well, I need one more precise than that. That one's kind of frayed. Come on, work with me. I need just a little bit of white paint, and I'm going to create a little bitty white dot on his eyes and across his little nose. I'll show you up closer what he looks like. Just don't laugh, okay? Okay, hang on. I got to put my hand up here again to kind of shield the light. He's kind of cute, but he's also kind of goofy looking. All right, let's finish this truck, y'all. I got to do my little headlight. The puppy looks like your dog, Cheryl. What kind of dog do you have? Let's see. Let's just do a white headlight. Just paint it right on there. And then let's do some light gray grill marks. I'm just going to get a round tip brush. Start drawing them on. Let's make that one a little longer. Each one gets a little bit shorter as it goes. And then take a little bit of black. This is my favorite part, going in and adding all these little touches. It just brings it to life. Like a Goldie. She does kind of look like a golden doodle or a golden retriever or something. Do a little bit of lines inside our headlight for texture and detail. And now we can go back with our black paint and we can start adding some little details. So we could add like the little hubcaps, kind of like we did the other night with the little lug nuts going around. All of these little things are just so visual that like when you're looking at the door hanger, you don't notice one thing in particular. You're going to notice like lots of things. And it just makes it look like, oh my goodness, like it's got so much detail and she put so much work into it. People are going to be so impressed with you. We still have to add lettering too. So y'all be thinking about what lettering I should put on this. Should I put like happy fall y'all, or welcome y'all, or pumpkin picking, or something like that? I don't know. You could also do this part with a paint pen, but I prefer to do it with a round tip brush sometimes, especially if I want it to look a little bit more artistic. I'll do that. It's definitely easier if your paint's not as dry. My paint's getting kind of dry tonight. I guess it's the heat in here from the ring light. Happy fall, y'all, somebody said. Farm to market, that's a cute idea. Let's see, let's do some up here. Do some, we've been going for an hour and a half, y'all. I knew this one would be a long live with all these details on this little truck and me talking while I'm painting. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but one of the kittens is just meow, meow. Hang on, let me get a skinnier brush. I feel like I'm getting, my lines are getting fatter and fatter with that one. Gotta get the bristles straightened. Pumpkin patch. I'm just gonna kind of draw a little bit on these boards. Just real skinny lines. Kind of accent the shape a little bit. Kind of create a little bit of a shadow. All these little details make it so special. Makes this wood look even more like real, especially if you kind of streak it down the middle of your wood, kind of like wood grain lines. It's really cool looking. There we go. I want to put a little bit on my pumpkins. Just really skinny, light, feather light lines. Oh, and I forgot I want to do some on this, on top of the leopard print. So many details, you guys. I love it. Now, I think the only other fine details we're missing are the whites, like the little highlights and things. So let's do some on the tires. Maybe a little bit on the hubcaps. A little bit on the fenders. That paint needs some more water too. A little bit in the window, on the steering wheel, across the front of the truck. Maybe a little bit just on our pumpkin leaves and things. And a little bit on our fence posts. Or I guess they're not called fence posts. This is like a bed rails or whatever. Okay. Did you do a door on the truck? I forget that every time. Oh, and I also wanted to add just a little bit of definition to the shape of the door. So I was going to get a little bit of black and kind of just create this little bit of a line here and here that kind of just defines where the door is at, and then a little door handle. So I'm glad you brought that up. I always forget that part. Okay, let's do some lettering on it. You said it needs a tailpipe. I know, I don't have a place to put a tailpipe. If we join tonight, do we get this template or we do have to purchase it? Linda, this one is one you would have to purchase, but you can use your 20% off discount code to get it, and it would make it just $4. Cindy said, every time you add another detail, it just comes to life even more. I love this. Thank you for being so sweet and teaching us. You're welcome, Cindy. I truly enjoy it. Oh, that's a good idea, Helen. She said this could be a Christmas truck, and instead of pumpkins, they could be bags full of toys. Great idea. Becca, my background is made of pallet wood that we have painted and put on the back here. Okay, so I was scrolling up to see what y'all suggested. Somebody said Happy Harvest. Oh, Pamela, I really like that idea. I woof fall. That would be really cute too. I don't think that would apply to as many people, but and I would hate for if the person who got it who didn't like that. So I'm thinking Happy Harvest might be really good. That's something I haven't done before that would be different. So, all right. So this is the part where, hang on, let me dry my little door handle. It's still shiny, so I can tell it's wet. So this is the part where I was talking about at the beginning of the video. Somebody asked about doing lettering. Using a piece of chalk, or you could use the General's charcoal pencil. I actually like the chalk better for lettering. And so, oh, thank you, Regina. That is the best compliment. So I'm just going to write it out here. And if I don't like it, because I wrote it with chalk, I can always erase it with a baby wipe gently, and then I can rewrite it. Okay. So I'm not going to talk during this because I'm going to try to get it nice and straight. Actually, I was going to get my ruler out, and I realized I can just use the lines in the buffalo plaid as a guide. So the key is not writing it so big that it looks like it didn't fit. And I'm writing it in script. Happy. So good. So far, so good. Let's do a little line at the bottom like that. I have been practicing my hand lettering a lot lately, so I'm hoping that pays off right now. Okay, I think I like it. Do y'all like it? Okay. Okay, so now we're going to get a round tip brush, and we're just going to fill in the lettering, okay? So let me go back to the original round tip brush that I had. I liked it. It was like a size, let me tell you what size it is. Size 2. So it's a rather small one. If you need some round tip brushes in a variety of sizes, we have them in our shop. And I think I'm going to do this lettering in white. Actually, I like how it pops on top of the green. I'm going to position it so that I can reach it real well right here. And I'm just using my little round tip brush. And we're just going to paint right on top of those chalk lines. I'm going to try to get my first coat thick enough that I don't have to go back and do a second coat. Because sometimes with script lettering, it can be kind of difficult to get that second coat nice and smooth. And anytime you're doing hand lettering, it's best if when you're doing a downstroke like this, if you make it thicker, like wider. So I'm going to try to do that as well. And I usually don't talk much when I hand letter, so if I get quiet, I apologize. You guys will just watch and go into a trance while I paint. Now my hand is also transferring the chalk in places. So like when this is completely dry, probably after the video's over, I will go back with a baby wipe and kind of tidy up where the chalk made a mess, because my hand is just touching it all over and making a mess. So the great thing about these round tip brushes is when I'm going down on these letters, like when I'm pushing down right here, I can flatten that brush completely flat and then lift up at the bottom of the stroke, and it will create that thinner look. And see right here, I'm just barely even touching right there to make that thinner stroke. So then on this one, I'm going to push all the way down, flattening that brush out. And I ran out of paint, so I had to go back for more. But then start to lift it up as you reach the bottom of the letter, and it creates a really nice transition between the thin and the thick strokes. And then I'm going to make it a little thicker going through here, and then back up to be thin right there. Let me slide it over. I don't want to get off camera. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Candy. Girls got skills. I like that. Thank you. What brand of paint are you lettering with? This is just Deco Art. I did add a little bit of water to it. I do like to do that when I do lettering, but I didn't add much because I don't want to thin my white out so much that I have to do a second coat. So I just barely added any water to it. And the key, I think, is also dipping your brush frequently. So if you notice, after almost every single stroke, I'm going back for more paint. Quite often, really. We have some great hand lettering tutorials in the Painters Clubhouse membership already, but we're always trying to add more. And so if that's something you struggle with, we have different ways that you can practice. You know, you don't have to go straight into freehanding it like I did. You can work your way up to that. That's why I'm only teaching this part of it on the last night of the truck painting, is because this was supposed to be like the most complicated of the trucks that I painted this week. And so that's why we did the hand lettering on this one. So, you know, you can use traceables, you can use templates and stuff like that. We have different methods we can show you, stencils even, for how to do your lettering. I think it's definitely something everyone wishes they were better at, including myself. I know you guys probably think this is marvelous right now, but I see flaws in it. And that's just because everybody's their own worst critic, and I'm no exception to that rule. So the fact that somebody said girls got skills made me feel good, because I'm like, oh, I still see a few things I don't like about it. But there's always going to be people out there that you think are better than you at something, and people that you look up to that, you know, have better skills at something. But we all are too harsh on ourselves. Trying to make the bottom of that S nice and thick. Got some weight to it. We're almost done, folks. This has been like a marathon Facebook Live. And I forgot to bring my drink in here, so I'm getting so thirsty. I left it in the kitchen. Look how pretty. Okay, it is going to need another coat in a couple of places, I can tell. So we're just going to try to thicken up a couple of places that look a little thin. No matter how hard I try, I always end up having to do that, go back and touch up a little bit. It's mainly on the downstroke areas. All right, I'll let it dry, and if it needs another coat some other time, I will. Look how pretty. Now that I'm seeing it on camera, I can really appreciate it. I'm like, oh, it does look great, doesn't it? Thank you so much for you guys hanging in here and being patient, because it's like 11 p.m. Central, midnight if you're on the East Coast, and you guys have been so patient. So now is the time when I'm going to stay on for as long as I need to answer anybody's final questions or objections about joining Painters Clubhouse. If there's a burning question that you have, or if there's anything that you feel like is holding you back, that's keeping you up on the fence, that we can answer for you, now is your chance. Put it in the comments and I will answer it. Elizabeth said, I just joined the other night. I'm definitely going to do a truck. I love this style. I'm so glad, Elizabeth. Yes, Shannon's agreeing. We are our own worst critics. Pam said, not only can she paint, she's great at building your confidence in yourself and encouraging you all along the way. She keeps it real and humble. That is my goal. My sole goal is to help you become more confident in yourself and in your painting. And I know I talked a lot last night in last night's video about the difference between talent. Was it last night's video or was that today? It's all blurring together. I talked about talent and skill and the difference between the two. Talent is something I believe you're born with. It's what God gives you. My talent was not painting. That was not what God gave me. God gave me the desire to be creative and to create things. And he also gifted me with the desire to encourage others. And so those two things are a powerful cocktail when it comes to painting, because I can believe in myself, because I'm very good at pepping myself up and encouraging myself to be able to do something. And I also channel that into you guys. So if you're sitting on the fence because you're like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this, don't worry about whether or not you believe in yourself. Worry about whether or not you believe in me and my ability to teach. Because I can channel it into you. And so if you're willing to take the step and join, and you're willing to put yourself in the position to do things that make you feel a little uncomfortable, like tonight when I did this green buffalo plaid, I was super uncomfortable because I'd never done that before. And if you're willing to challenge yourself, look what you can do. You can push the boundaries of what you know is possible, and you can impress yourself and amaze yourself. If I join tonight, does it go by Eastern time or your time? My time. I believe it goes by Central time. So you have one more hour to join in time to get the Christmas house bonus that we talked about earlier. You get the video and the template for how to create that. That's the final bonus that we have. If you wait till tomorrow, the bonuses will be gone. The only bonus that will remain is the one that if you sign up yearly, you get these 3 exclusive templates. And of course, you get 2 months for free in the Clubhouse. Rebecca said, I have to learn. Oh, hang on. We'll go back to Rebecca's in a second. Linda said, do you prefer to paint your lettering instead of Posca pens? Yes, I prefer to paint my lettering instead of using Posca pens. I always have. But beginners tend to go for the Posca pens. Rebecca said, I have to learn how to print the template from my phone. Maybe my public library could print it. Yes, your public library can print it, but Rebecca, we also have a video inside the Clubhouse Facebook page, and I think also on the membership site from our camp counselor, Megan. She made or maybe it was me. I don't know, it all blurs together. We made a video showing how to export it from your phone to your printer. So if you have an air printer that prints wirelessly, you shouldn't have any trouble. Looking for more questions. If I join, I already answered that one. Have I always been artistic? I initially want to say no, but when I look back at things when I did when I was really little, I was always crafting and I was always trying to make something. I was always crafty. Artistic is a fancy word that I feel like I have a hard time wearing because of it feels too fancy for me. I don't feel like this is fancy painting. This is like fun painting for me. And so it doesn't feel like artist feels like a weird word to wear as a badge of honor for me because I don't feel like I fit in with most artists. But, I guess technically I am an artist. You have to learn how to print the template from your phone. I already read that. I'm getting tired, obviously. I'm starting to read the same comments over and over again. If I can paint, anybody can. I'm an athlete, science, math nerd, not even an artist. I see color in numbers, and that is the only part artistic in me. Well, you sound like the yin to my yang. I'm not athletic. I suck at math and science, and when I see numbers, I mean, I see a puzzle. I don't understand it, like a puzzle I can't solve. What do you have to do to join, Katrina? Go to paintersclubhouse.com or click the link in the video description, and it'll take you straight there. The green is your favorite. Is anybody watching right now that didn't see the previous 3 trucks? We can show them off right now. I've got them sitting down here by the table. Yay, Crystal just signed up, watching from YouTube. This is my first time being live on YouTube, by the way, painting live on YouTube. How exciting. If you guys like it, if you're watching from YouTube, you need to let me know, and I'll try to do it more often. You call your painting coloring book painting. So a lot of times if you're painting one of our etched door hanger blanks, they do have all the lines in them. And then it is kind of like coloring book painting because you can just paint inside the lines. That's what we did on the previous 3 nights. Okay, so Candy says, please show the other trucks. I missed them. Okay, ready? It's like a pageant. We're going to show all the pretty dresses. Okay, so here was night 1. This is how a beginner would probably paint this truck. So let's just, for a moment, compare the 2. They're 2 completely, you can't really see that. Here, we'll do this. They're 2, look, I'm getting smarter. They're 2 completely different trucks, right? But I love and appreciate both of them. I would hang this one on my door, just like I would hang that one on my door. But you can see the progression from this talent to that talent. And this is stage 1. When you join the Painters Clubhouse with 0 painting skills, you can do this, I promise. This lettering was done with a Sharpie. These outlines were done with a Sharpie. Sharpie's not ideal because it does dry out fast, but if you're a beginner and you don't have paint pens and you're just trying to work with what you got, Sharpie will work. We did the lettering with a Sharpie and the outlines with a Sharpie, and everything else we just painted inside the lines because it's an etched door hanger blank. Okay, night number 2. So that was stage 1. Stage 2, night number 2. We did this one. So we took it up a notch. We added polka dots to the truck and to the little pumpkin there. See the little, were they gold? Yeah, the little gold polka dots in the back of the pumpkin. And then we did different colors. So that was really all we kind of changed. Night 3, which was last night, we did this truck. And all of these are on YouTube and on Facebook, either place. Can you see the difference? So we began to do some more details on the wheels. We did some more details by adding the little grill, a little headlight, which was not there before. We added the little, whatever that's called. And then we added some vines to our pumpkins, which we hadn't done before. Or actually, we had done little vines on the previous one, but they didn't have leaves and things. So we took it up just a notch. Then tonight we did this one, and look at all the things. We did all the things. We pulled out all the stops that could possibly be pulled out, and we did it. I wasn't planning on doing the buffalo plaid, as you guys know, at the beginning of this. And so we definitely left everything on the table. We did it all. Which one's your favorite? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Or actually, rather than saying numbers, maybe, well, I don't know. You could say numbers because we were talking about stages. If you can't remember the numbers, just say the color. Which color truck was your favorite, if that's easier? Sheila, you can change to annual payments. Just email support@paintersclubhouse.com. The buffalo plaid is so different. It's not something you see anywhere else, really. And that's the thing, though, is like after you've been in the clubhouse a while, stage 4, I have a little success path that I forgot to mention tonight. You print this out after you join. It's got stage 1, 2, 3, and 4, and what to do in order to complete each stage, which helps you get from the teal truck all the way to this truck, okay? And so as you move through the stages, one of the stages is, you know, learning how to hand letter. It's got that in there. And then another one is creating your own unique door hanger design of your own. Now, this is not a unique door hanger design per se, but this would fit in where you're taking a door hanger design and you're customizing it. So, you know, you could really change something else up on it and make it completely different design. So there's ways that you can improve your confidence and improve your painting skills by stretching yourself a little bit. So somebody said, I'm a part of the club. What is the next step? Marcia, did you get your email? After you join, you get an email. So check your email. It might be in your spam folder and log in. You're going to log in at paintersclubhouse.com. And then you're going to go through the welcome videos in there. It's going to have further instructions for you. You're going to print out your success path. You're going to get access to the Facebook group and all of that kind of stuff. And then from there, after you've followed all of the welcome steps and checked the boxes of the things that we wanted you to do first, you're free to like peruse and binge watch to your heart's desire. Okay, look and see if I got any more questions. Running board. I don't know why I have such trouble remembering that word. Thank you. What would you sell this truck for? I'm having a hard time with pricing and definitely go overboard on the details. So Heather, if yours looks like this and you love to go overboard on the details, I would sell this one for a higher dollar, especially if the person you're painting it for, if this is custom and maybe instead of Happy Harvest, you put the Bennetts on here and that was our little dog Trooper in the window, you could charge as much as $45, $50, maybe even $55 for it. I would probably start at about the $45 range for a truck like this. It's got a lot of detail. Yes, Karen, that's correct. This one right here did not have any etching on it. If you had caught at the very beginning, we drew all the details with a piece of chalk, or not a piece of chalk, with the General's charcoal white pencil. It's like a white colored pencil. And I did the hand lettering with the chalk. So that's why we offer etched and not etched door hangers blanks, is for people who are more advanced to be able to customize what it is they're painting. You know, it allowed us to be able to change the lettering and stuff like that. No more questions? So Doreen, I think if you're talking about buying the wood blank for this one, this is a 20-inch size. And a 20-inch with etching is $24. And of course, if you use your 20% off Painters Clubhouse discount code, you get, how much is that? $2.80 or $4.80 off, I think. So that makes it just under $20. Your dog's named Trooper too, Brandy. So yeah, ours is a German Shepherd. His name's Trooper. We also have one named Roxy that's a Boxer Shepherd mix. What year model and how many miles on it? Deidre, I have no idea. That's funny though. I did not do vines on the pumpkins this time. I thought it might be too much with everything else. Yay! Y'all celebrate. Judy Logston just joined the Painters Clubhouse. Welcome. You're part of the sisterhood now. So now when you watch my videos, I want you to comment #PCSister. Jill, yes, I do own the Painters Clubhouse. I started it in April 2018. And so we have videos in there as far back as 2018. So it's a treasure trove of painting tutorials, templates, and information, techniques, all the things you might possibly want to learn about door hanger painting are in there. So somebody said, I'm just now hearing about the discount code. What's it good for? If you join yearly, do you get it? Yes. So you get the discount code. It's a 20% off code. We change it ever so many months or so because, you know, if people leave the clubhouse, we don't want them to be able to use the code forever. But it's a discount code that you can use as many times as you want on templates and blanks, and it's 20% off. And of course, if you're obsessed with templates and you can't get enough, we have something called the Template Club, where every month you get a bundle of templates. If you want to see what I'm talking about, let me pull up a picture for you. I showed it during my Friday Fab 5 video this morning. So this month's Template Club bundle looked like this. It was from August. And so this is all the template designs we sold during the month of August. So Template Club members got every single one of these for $30 a month. Now, Painters Clubhouse members get an even better deal. They get the Template Club for $20 a month if you choose to add that on. And there is a place inside the Painters Clubhouse membership site to sign up for $20 a month. If you're already a Template Club member, you can just email support@paintersclubhouse.com and they'll adjust your price for you. So Linda, the templates are $5 each, but like today, which is a Friday, every Friday we release 5 new designs. And during the weekend that they are newly released, between Friday and Sunday, you can get them half price, which would make them $2.50. But after that, they go back to $5. This is my mother-in-law, Miss Kathy. Thank you so much. I am up late painting. I've been on here for 2 whole hours now. I started at 9:15. It's good to see you, Kathy. You've purchased so many templates. You definitely need. Yes, because if you are spending $20 to $30 a month anyways, why not get the whole kit and caboodle? I hadn't said that word in a long time. Pamela said Template Club is so worth it. So a lot of people use Template Club if they are doing paint parties and stuff. They will post the color mock-up photos, you know, the color like sample images for their paint parties or to take up paint orders and things on their social media. Danita took the plunge. She decided to join. Welcome to the Clubhouse, Danita. I'm so excited. But yeah, Template Club, you can use those color mock-up images to get new orders or to book paint parties and have sample images for people to like choose what they want to paint. I will seal this robin with Decor Duraclear Gloss Varnish. Jerry says, I'm going to add the Template Club. You totally should. The people who are in it love it. Like, we almost never have people cancel their Template Club subscription. That's how much they love it. They said like every first of the month, which the next one's coming up. When's September 1st? Tuesday. So Tuesday you would get your first bundle. Jamie is going to try to get started and going to cut her own template. I'm so excited for you, Jamie. Don't be afraid of those power tools. You got this. When are you giving away this beauty? So Becca, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central, I'm going to be live again with 3 of my Painters Clubhouse OGs. And we're going to be painting together, doing a Zoom paint party, so to speak. And we'll draw the name then. So come back at 8 p.m. tomorrow night to find out who wins this beauty. I'm excited. It is so empowering, isn't it, Rhonda? Will you have a list of colors that you used on the truck, especially the greens? No, but I can tell you right now if you're taking notes. The Hauser medium green and Hauser dark green from Deco Art. Those are the 2 greens I used. Hauser medium green and dark green. Will that sealer protect against the weather if your front door does not have an overhang over the door? I would recommend that if you're going to seal it with this, seal front and back. It says protects project with a durable, glossy, non-yellowing finish. That's important. Non-yellowing. It's water-based. Indoor, outdoor is what it says. So I would, if you're painting, I would put it on the front and the back if you're exposed to all weather, not just the front. Candy says, I love the Template Club. I have a binder full of photos for people to choose from at my paint parties and take orders. It's a game changer. Candy, that is a brilliant idea. Can you please, if you're a Clubhouse member, take a picture or make a quick little video, like a 60-second video showing you flipping through that binder so that everybody in the Clubhouse will have their mind blown by that life-changing idea. That is so smart. You're one smart cookie. Thank you for sharing that with us. Latoya said, my puppy's looking at me. He wants to come home with me. Oh, this little puppy. Well, maybe you'll win this one if you sprinkled the love. We're going to do a drawing tomorrow night. Danita said, do you care if I friend request you? I try not to accept friend requests because I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but Facebook only allows you to have up to, I think it's 5,000 friends. And then after that, they cut you off. You can't have any more. And so it's really hard to pick and choose because I want to be friends with all of you, but I can't. And so I try to just, only friend the ones that I've like known for a really long time. Because there's 216,000 of you guys who follow me over here. And if I started friending everybody, I would run out of friend request spots. So it's just kind of, sorry, Mark Zuckerberg kind of put a damper on that one. Hello, Sarah Daggett. Welcome. Thank you. You just signed up, Monica Stewart, and she said, I didn't see where to go join the Template Club. Look in the announcements tab. I believe it's in there inside the Painters Clubhouse. Maria said, I joined last night. I'm excited to meet people who paint too. I don't have any crafting friends. So you should watch our our interview where I interviewed Mandy Stockley yesterday. She joined for the same reason. You guys would have a lot in common. Do you brush it on? Yes, you brush that sealer on. You won't regret joining Template Club with Painters Clubhouse. Tons of templates to choose from, almost too many to be able to do them all. That's so true, Connie. But it's like having a catalog of choices for your customers. And so you never run out of ideas or things to sell them. You know, back before there were door hanger templates, we had to come up with ideas on our own and we had to draw them out with our own hands. So imagine having to draw this little puppy, but in a 20-inch size and not being able to get the size right or the features right. It was so hard. And so we had to draw all of that stuff ourselves and come up with our own ideas. And we had to make our own color samples before we could even start doing any of this. So when I started selling door hanger templates, I'm pretty sure I was the first person ever to come up with a door hanger template idea. And I say this because I searched high and low for anybody else who's doing that. And nobody else was that I could find at the time. I searched Pinterest. I searched Google. I searched YouTube. Nothing. Nobody was teaching. Nobody was selling templates. And so I thought, you know what? There is a need for this out there because I could have benefited from it years ago, but I had to teach myself. And so now I'm trying to pay it forward. Now that I know how to do all this, I'm trying to teach you guys. Debbie said, how much is it to join Template Club? And do you get the tutorial for how to paint them? No, Debbie, Template Club does not teach you how to paint at all. All it is a bulk discount on templates. And it's separate from Painters Clubhouse. So if you're wanting painting tutorials or to learn how to paint, Painters Clubhouse is where it's at. Good night, Karen. I'm fixing to go to bed too. I'm fading fast. As you can see, I'm starting to slump down on the table. Yes, there is a yearly option, Kathy, and you get 2 months for free when you sign up yearly. Plus, you get this bonus of 3 exclusive templates, which I have lost. Where are they? Here they are. You get these 3 exclusive templates if you sign up for the yearly. Plus, you get the Christmas house door hanger that I showed earlier. How long do you wait before you put the sealer on after you finish? Sharon, I usually wait a couple of days if I try to wait a few days if I'm using paint pens. But this right here, I didn't use paint pens on this at all, I don't think. And so I could seal this right now probably, but I'm going to wait till the next day. It's just safer. But you see how it's got all this, well, y'all probably can't see that, chalk. I'll probably have to wipe it down with a baby wipe first, gently. What's included in Painters Clubhouse? It kind of was already mentioned, but I don't remember if I gave much detail on it. So the full details you can find over on the sign up page at paintersclubhouse.com. But you get 2 door hanger templates every month along with 2 tutorials, one taught by me and one taught by a guest painter. And you get something new every Monday. So it might be one of those door hanger templates, or it might be like a bonus technique video or a hand lettering video or bow making, or maybe how to paint a ceramic Christmas truck. We had that this past month. We've just all kinds of different painting projects. I usually try to keep it completely centered around door hangers or something that will sell well with the door hanger. You know, something you could put on your porch or hang up in your home to sell along with your door hangers. And the reason for that is because it makes for great upsells to your customers. Good night, Rita. I think I'm saying your name right. Rita. Where's the Facebook group? I joined a couple of days ago and I found the website. Doreen, there's a link to the Facebook group inside the membership site, but you can also just use the search bar here in Facebook and type Painters Clubhouse and it should pop right up. All right. I think I'm finally caught up with all the questions. So I'm going to give you guys like 2 more minutes. And if nobody posts a question, we're going to end it because I've been on here a long time. Pam says, ladies, don't let the nerves stop you from joining. Those nerves go away so fast. This is such a loving, friendly sisterhood. That's another great point. So, oh, and Carrie, I forgot to say, Painters Clubhouse comes, you get all the tutorials and the templates and stuff, plus you get everything that we've released from as far back as April 2018. So it's hundreds of tutorials and things that you get instantly in the Clubhouse. And we also have a monthly Zoom paint party where you can get on and paint with the other ladies. It's so much fun. It's just a wonderful community. We believe in community over competition, and we don't accuse each other of copying and stealing designs or worrying about if somebody sold some and we didn't. We're always happy for each other's success, and we try to uplift each other daily. Marcia says, where can I find your interview with Mandy? I think that's her name. It was yesterday, Marcia. You'll have to scroll pretty far down on my Facebook page. But her name's Mandy Stockley, and it was yesterday. Sprinkle just means share, Sheila. Thank you for joining me tonight. Okay, Missy, what's your paint party question? Throw it at me. Joel, I thought about this last night. If you guys were watching, I was complaining about getting really hot in here, and my mom was watching, and she texted my husband, was like, take that girl a hairdo. And so he brought me a hair tie in here, and I pulled my hair up in a ponytail. Well, tonight I was complaining about being thirsty because I left my drink in the kitchen. And so, yeah, my mom must be in bed by now, because otherwise she probably would have been like, hey, Michael, take her a drink. Oh, that is so sweet of you, Mandy. She's the one that I interviewed yesterday. She said, feel free to message her if you've got a question. That's so sweet of you to offer that. I am losing my voice. I do need to go to bed. I was waiting to see if Missy posted her paint party question. I have had a busy week. I've done a lot of painting and a lot of talking, which I'm good at the talking. I'm good at the painting too, I guess. But whew, when you got to do it for hours and hours, it's hard. All right. Missy, if you post your question after this, oh, there it is. There it is. Do you paint while doing the paint party or give verbal instruction? So, Missy, when I first started, I brought with me a blank to put like up at the front of the room and just show everybody step by step. And I quickly realized that it was way more effective if I just verbally said, okay, paint the background part of your truck green, and then after that, raise your hand and wait for what to do next, or, and then do your windows or whatever. I would have like verbal instructions, and I realized that I could give a verbal instruction and then walk around the room and give individual instruction as needed, and it was much more effective. Thank you, Deetra. I appreciate that so much. I have enjoyed this immensely, even though I sound exhausted and tired and my voice is going away. So I'm going to end this now, and I appreciate you all hanging with me for so long. I've had so much fun with you guys this week, painting these little trucks. Feel free to go back and binge watch all the videos that I've done this week, interviewing Clubhouse members and painting these trucks. Tomorrow is the last day to join Painters Clubhouse. And if I have not said whatever the magic words are to convince you to join up until now, then there may not be the right words. It may not be right for you, and that's okay, because it's not right for everybody. I only want the people in there who are my people. So if you feel like you're my people, let's hang out, okay? So I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to paint live during the day sometime. I don't know what time yet, but I'll try to send out a notification before I do. And then, of course, I'll be back at 8 p.m. tomorrow night for the final Facebook Live before Painters Clubhouse closes. So go sign up at Painters Clubhouse. PaintersClubhouse.com. Good night. Yay, didn't need to join. Okay, bye, y'all. I'm done.